Hi everyone, I'm John, and welcome back to Puzzle Me This. This is part 17, so it is the 16th month update on the 42,000 piece Around the World Jigsaw Puzzle. Now this month I did take 8 days off from working on the puzzle. There's 5 of us now that have electric bicycles, and there's always somebody wanting to go ride someplace. And it just hasn't been warm enough here in Pennsylvania, so we decided to go to Florida and ride. So we loaded the bikes on the car and went to Florida. We parked in Tampa. My brother-in-law's brother and his wife live in Tampa. So thank you, George and Esther, for letting us park there. So Florida has the Florida Coast to Coast Trail. It's a whole bunch of bicycle trails linked together. And it starts in St. Petersburg along the Gulf of Mexico and goes to Titusville and across Cape Canaveral Island to the Atlantic Ocean. So we parked in Tampa and rode bikes to St. Petersburg, and then rode on the Florida Coast to Coast Trail all the way across, and then came back and kind of took a shortcut down and back to Tampa. So we went 470 miles, which was about 756 kilometers in 6 days. And the temperature was in the low 80s. That's about 27 Celsius down there. So we had a great time. I tried to work on the puzzle extra while I was here to make up for the time that I missed. Also, 2 friends that I know through my sister came over to help on the puzzle. She brought them over. So I'd like to introduce you to them now. Okay, I want to introduce Audrey to you.
Hey there.
And Millie. And Mom and Dad and my sister are up here also. Our total time so far spent on the puzzle is 2,906 hours of total time spent on the puzzle. So let me show you what we have on the cardboards and then show you what's on the table. Oh, before I show you the cardboards, let me show you your guesses. We had to go to a new book because this one was full and it didn't have all the pages in to start with. These are old notebooks from me and my sister when we went to school. Some of you will remember these notebooks. They're, I think, standard issue in schools way back. We have some X's next to the people's names that their guess has already went past. 2 people, Katrin Boaz and Tom Bouchon, 6950, both guessed their birthdays from last month. So you see there is a few people that have X's by their names. And those are the guesses we have. Okay, these are animals still. Fur, animals, birds, butterflies, anything that looks like an animal. The sky, those are mountain pieces. I went down through the mountains again, and there probably is some mountains over there yet. But these are the ones that I had picked out for mountains, and that's down to just a few on there. I did go down through and put some more mountains in just the other day, what I could find. Now the sky pieces, you remember that I had 4 cardboards, 2 with the shapes of the pieces, and then 2 cardboards that had the rows that I was working on. If you remember from way back there, I did them according to rows and then the repeating pattern. And I found that when I was looking down through for sky pieces, I would always look for shape instead of by row. So I did away with the row part and just sorted them all according to shape and put them on these 2 cardboards here. So they're all by shape now. And there is a couple places on the puzzle that I used pieces from here that weren't sky, and I'll show you then when we go down through the puzzle. And I did go through. Hopefully you'll notice that the sky is more complete than it was. I went through twice and tried to find pieces to fill sky in, and Mom went down through at least once and got some pieces. A lot of the ones that we need yet are the whiter pieces or gray, and they're probably over there on the white and gray cardboards. And of course, these are the greens. There's 6 cardboards of green, and they're going to be really difficult, I think, at the end when we start doing them. You'll notice on here I did go through and kind of reorganize the colors. I left the colors the same, but I just reorganized the cardboards to get less cardboards. And you'll notice that there's not as many there now. And I've been sorting cardboards, or I've been sorting pieces on the cardboards in 3 sections. And when I started, I sorted just, I covered the whole cardboard. And that got me maybe 350 to 400 pieces per cardboard. And doing it this way, it just seems easier to look through a shorter row and then just keep going down through when I'm looking for something than looking just through a whole cardboard. And it seems like I can focus better, or I pay more attention maybe to each piece. And this way I get maybe 320 or so pieces per cardboard. Red and a deep maroon back there, browns up here, yellows up here, whites back there. The newer buildings, I have that down to 1 cardboard plus that little bit. The old buildings or old structures, I still have 4 cardboards of them. And we've been working a lot on them lately. And in the back is the pink, bright yellow, purple, blue, gray. Black is over there, or the real dark ones are over there. And then this pile is the pieces that we picked out, or patterns, or just things that stood out to us. These are brown. I just picked these out. I'll show you where they go on the table then. And like I said, these are the black ones or the real dark ones. And these are either rainbow. There's not many rainbow pieces left. Mom thought they were rainbow colored, so she picked them out. And I have been working on the rainbows. There's 2 of them. And water pieces underneath. These are the cardboards now that we have empty. So there's getting to be more and more of them. And these are miscellaneous pieces on this cardboard. And I could probably go through them now and put almost all of them on another category, a different cardboard, and get rid of that one. So maybe I'll do that next month. These are for the grid part that we talked about last month. The grids that go up and down and the grids that go across. So that's those cardboards of them pieces. Mom goes through them, every week or so, and tries to find more of them, and she does. So, okay. Okay, let me show you what we've done on the table here so far. This building, I've been slowly trying to get that. Hopefully I can get that without a glare on it. That's Parliament Hill in Ottawa. And it has a distinct color, and I always think it'll be easy, and I do keep finding pieces as I go for it. And the Cloud Gate sculpture here, that has a lot of blue, and I found a lot of them on the sky cardboards over there, and got a good bit of that filled in. And Shauna came over one time. She got a lot of the Palomino horse done. And there is 3 horses up here. You can see the head of that one. And there's 2 more there beside that one. And they're slowly getting put in also. I have been getting some of the Statue of Liberty base in here. It's like a weird brown color, and I've been getting some of that in, and the base of the Christ the Redeemer statue. And a few of them pieces were in the sky pieces as well. And I say it every time, but we go through a lot and just put pieces randomly in that we find. So this month especially, it didn't seem like we had a lot of total things put together to show you, but hopefully you'll notice that there are a lot of things that are more complete than they were. And these pieces, I had these over with the Great Pyramids because I thought they were sand. But I got a bunch of that together and it was too big to fit over there. So I looked around for someplace else where it could go. And this is the Little Mermaid statue in Copenhagen. And I don't have the Little Mermaid yet, but this is the rock that she's sitting on. So that's where those pieces went. And I have started putting in a little bit of this building. It's actually part of this one, but it's a different shade of brick. And over here, behind the Freedom Monument, is the Temple of Jupiter, which is back here, kind of behind her there. And Adrian Chesterman, they interviewed him, I think it was the 2023 Speed Puzzling Championships. They interviewed him and he said that everything is either a little bit of a different color or texture or clearness. And he's right. Everything is just a little different, but some things are really close. And if you'll notice, the building here, it's all just a little like it's out of focus. And those pieces stand out. When I find one, I'll put it in there. And even some of the mountains, like that mountain is a lighter blue and in focus. And this one is a darker blue and it's a little fuzzier. Like it's not quite in focus. And this is Petra in Jordan. And you can see how clear that is. All the lines are really sharp and clear. Whereas this is fuzzy and not quite clear. And this is where these pieces will go. I showed you these just a little bit ago. These brown pieces. And there's a statue of 2 guys sitting here. It's actually the facade of the Great Temple in Abu Simbel, Egypt. And those two guys will go here. And then, of course, there's a bunch of animals down here. And I'm trying to get this space filled in a little bit. So hopefully I can work on them guys next month and get some of them done. Shauna did work a little bit on this giraffe. She has it started. There's a statue of a man in front of it, in front of the giraffe. And then Dad, maybe Shauna worked a little too on the elephant. I know Dad was working on it some, just to get it started. And here's some more of just a background object or a part of a building that it doesn't have it listed in the book, but you can tell how out of focus the pieces are, or the colors are. They're brown, but they're not, it's fuzzy. And also up here is Durbar Square in Kathmandu, Nepal. And you can tell it's a little different brown than everything else. And I started working on that just the other day. How many of you are hearing the Bob Seger song, Kathmandu, in your head right now? Since I mentioned Kathmandu. And this area, I got a good bit of this area filled in. A lot of those blues were on the sky cardboards. So that helped fill that in. And this is the Merlin Fountain in Singapore. And I think it's a lion, and it's a fountain that has water here squirting out of its mouth and goes into the Ming vase here. So I started on that also the other day. I did have some colors of that gray and white that kind of stood out, so I started working on that. And like I said, just we're putting pieces in everywhere. And there's more, we found more buildings for underneath the Sydney Harbor Bridge. There's a skyline here, and this building, I've gotten a few more pieces of that. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm taking it that it's a building in Sydney. So I'll show you the last 2 months of me walking down through. There won't be any sound for them. And then we'll come back and we'll walk down through it this month. I'll try to hold the camera up so that you can see a little better. It's just so hard getting it all in. I think we are 3/4 done, the puzzle. And the way that I have the cardboard set up now with about 320 pieces or so per cardboard, and I multiplied that by how many cardboards we have, and that's still about 10,000 pieces left to go in. So being 3/4 done sounds impressive, but that's still 10,000 pieces. And 6 cardboards of that is all green pieces. So that's probably 1,500 pieces. So we've still got a good bit of work ahead of us. So there's the puzzle, and hopefully we'll see some difference between the last 2 months and this month. So I want to thank everyone again so much for taking the time to watch. And until next time, go put your puzzle together.